Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So in this video I'll be talking about what is my unfair advantage of landing the job in the UK, and I'm sure as you watch this video full along, I think your perception of applying for a job, the mindset which you've got, it might change to some extent, because the approach which I took might influence the way you think about applying for the jobs. Before we start with this, I've got a very big announcement for you guys. It's a really beneficial community for international students. So basically, you click on the link mentioned in the description box below. That will be for my community page. I think we have already got around 200 members. So all you need to do is you can subscribe it for free of cost. You just need to enter your email address. So what you'll be getting is a weekly newsletter around all the updates about international students. And secondly, there's a community page where you can post about accommodations. If you're struggling to find accommodation, if you are struggling with anything, you can post that out there and the other community members can reply you. So we've already got 200 members in there, so you can do that. Then also I'm doing a live stream next Saturday probably, so again you'll get an email about that. You'll get the more details related to my live stream, which will be more of a Q&A session instead of a monotone, right? So make sure you're checking it out. I'll be mentioning that link in the description of this video. In terms of my unfair advantage, straightforwardly, it's my internship experience which I had. So for you who don't know, so I did my undergraduate degree with integrated masters with a placement here. So I was able to get a placement. I did my internship for 1 year and I got something called a recommendation to hire, and that's how I've been working in the same company after graduating. But now the issue is that in order to get that internship, it's same as getting a full-time job. You again need to do your full research, full analysis, and then you have to get shortlisted. You need to go through the interview stage. Your CV needs to be selected. You need to give the aptitude test and all those things. So you need to go through the general recruitment criteria as you would go as somebody who has graduated a master's degree or who has graduated with a bachelor's degree and who is looking for a full-time role, right? Full-time job role. So it's the same process. Now the thing which I want to talk about in here is that I've seen on LinkedIn quite a lot where people say that, oh well, I've applied to around 500 jobs. I've applied to maybe a really big number, 1,000 jobs, and they're not able to get a job. So I don't know. I think I've been an exception, and I don't relate to it that much. Because I think it's kind of a cliche which is all out the LinkedIn. I think it gets a lot of likes, and maybe some people post it, and it might be there's some genuine truth to it to some extent, which I'll talk further in this video, right? So my approach has been really simple, right? So when I was in my second year of my university, I had to get my internship in my fourth year, right? So when I was finishing my second year, the approach which I took in order to apply for my internship was, I won't be applying to all the companies as most of the students do. People just straight away go to this job websites, Indeed is one of them. They start applying for all the jobs which they see for their role, right? So I didn't have that mindset. I just knew that if I'm going to do my internship in the initial phase, when I'm applying for the jobs, I'll be just applying to the 4 companies where I want to work for, right? And those 4 companies were, first was Russia in Switzerland, applied to that, P&G, applied to GSK, applied to Pfizer, right? Just 4 companies. I didn't apply anywhere else, right? So the first reply I heard back from was from Russia and Switzerland. It didn't went, my application didn't went because they said you need to have a work visa in order to do your internship, and for an internship stage it's a really big thing. They basically don't fund the visa for an internship, but if you go for a full-time role, Russia will kind of sponsor you, right? So that was the thing with Russia. But then I heard back from all the 3 companies. I got an interview with GSK, I got an interview with P&G, and with Pfizer I got a computer interview. If I would have cracked the computer interview, I would have gone further, but I didn't reach that stage of even giving that computer interview. I'll tell you the reason now. Because my very first interview was with P&G. At my very first, and I was able to get the job offer, as simple as that. So I did my first interview, I got my job offer, and it was a university policy that once you've got the job offer, you need to withdraw your other applications, and that's what I did in my case. So despite the fact I got an interview from Pfizer, I withdrew my application, right? So you see, it's nice and simple story in my case, right? It's not I've applied to 100 jobs, 200 jobs, 300 jobs. I was very focused that my interest is in organic chemistry, in making the molecules, and then I was also bit more okay, that is my interest, but also I need to be a bit flexible. Then I'm also looking for a consumer good firm, and that's my reason that I applied for a P&G, a company like P&G. So I had 3 companies in pharmaceutical and 1 company which was out of that pharmaceutical space, much more in consumer goods side. And again, I got the job in the consumer goods side. So that was my approach. Now the thing is, what are some actionable tips which you can take out of my story, right? The first thing is, please try getting a mentor when you're in your university. So when I was in my second year, when I was finishing off, I didn't had any kind of work experience. I didn't did like an internship at that point, so I need to make my CV, right? And I didn't know how to make a CV, like a UK format style CV. I didn't went through any coaching center or anything like that. But I had a very good connection with one of my professor, and like she was very helpful. Like she helped me like to go through like 3-4 settings in order to like really refine my CV and make sure like we are demonstrating the right skills. We are writing the right amount of information which is required by the employer. So yeah, so she was my mentor. I was having like coaching session with her. She helped me with my cover letter. So once my CV and cover letter was ready, by the end of second year, when my third year started, in the initial 3 months, I started applying for these 4 companies, right, with my proper CV and the cover letter. So I didn't have to like make my CV and cover letter in my third year. So I was really well prepared. So that's a tip. Find a good mentor. Then secondly, be really much planned in your journey of when you want to apply for the job, because the deadlines will go away. Third thing is, I didn't know about which all websites to apply from. So in this case, I applied through Indeed. Then secondly, networking is really important. Again, I said about my mentor. So the company which I'm right now working in, I was actually like, my professor told me about P&G. I didn't know like this company even existed, right? I knew about their products like Head and Shoulders, Ariel, Surf, like that's like what I'm working on at the moment. Not Surf, Ariel, Tide, like those kind of products in the consumer goods space. But I didn't know like P&G was like a really big company and so on, right? But like she was the one who kind of, there's a job available in this company, maybe just try applying for it and just see what happens. And I was like, okay, it fits into very well that I want to go a bit of outside of my pharmaceutical space. It was in a consumer good firm, and then I took the step and just kind of applied, right? Before I move to my last tip, I would really like to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Ember Students. I've been working them for last 2 years now. So they are like a marketplace for student accommodation. So if you're somebody who's coming to UK in the next intake or in the September intake, so you can actually search for all the accommodations in here. Just mention down your university name or location where you're going. It'll be showing you all the accommodations which are available, that you can filter out, okay, what's my budget, will you be able to get all the other Indian friends, your community friends and so on. So you can pull all those preferences and then you can book your accommodation. If you've got any queries, you can get in touch with Ember Student. Their team is super friendly, available 24/7, and I know many of the students have also been able to get some cashback offers. So it's a really great platform in order to book your student accommodation. The link is in the description of this video. Do check them out and get your accommodation. Finally, my last tip is really, so if you're somebody who's coming here for a master's degree, I would highly recommend that if you're coming here for a master's degree, make sure you've got some experience in the past, because that experience is something which is going to really make you stand out from the competition. And that's like what most of the employers look for, that past experience, right? So if you have that past experience, make sure only then you come for your master's, so that once, if you're looking for a career in the UK, you're going to be on advantage. Like that will be your unfair advantage in your case. And if you're getting an opportunity where you're getting a course with placement year, especially for somebody who's coming for an undergraduate degree, I highly recommend a course with placement year. So do opt that one. Okay, so well, that's the end of this video. I hope these tips have been really actionable, really fruitful. I've got like something on my hand from the tree above. See you in my next video, and also make sure to subscribe that community thing which I was talking about. We're doing a live stream, a Q&A session next week on Saturday. So make sure you're subscribing that, you're getting the newsletter and everything, all the very good benefits free of cost. So see you in my next video. Cheers, bye bye.